In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my 7-foot center build that I've made. I made this build after making my initial first 7-foot build. Now, the difference between both builds is one of them just simply has block. Now, the way I made this build, this one has a 93 block and it's got a 77 interior defense. Obviously, I'm going to take you guys to the builder to show you a little bit more about the build, but you guys can clearly tell this is actually my highest rated build. Okay, normally my highest rated build is the one I'm having the most fun playing on and the one I'm using the most. But very similar to my 7-foot power forward, the only difference is the wingspan is down by a little bit. I did talk about it previously. I said, for me, I would recommend going 76 and 82 because with the 82 mid-range, you do get a lot better, like a lot of the release and the jump shot animations, they're all tied in that 82 sort of range. So that would be my recommendation for a lot of you centers that want to make a shooting center, but you don't want to have a super high three. Okay, this would be my recommendation. I'm not saying 74 is terrible. I'm just saying for you to have a bit more option with your jump shot animations, I would definitely go 82 and 76. That would give you, again, a lot of good animations. Again, the driving dunk is slightly lower. We've got 89 and it's 90 standing dunk. There is no post control in this build, so this is pretty much, the build kind of reminds me of more of a home grind for the OKC, more of a rim protector. Now you guys are probably questioning this, 80 defensive rebound. Again, I had my doubts as well making this build, but I would definitely recommend you guys to make it with a slightly higher defensive rebound. I'm just telling you, it's probably going to be better in the long term. But anyways, let me show you guys very quickly my animations, and then obviously I'm going to take you, we're going to look at some gameplays, and then I'm going to take you guys to the builder where we kind of talk about the build a little bit more. So in terms of my animations and what jump shot I'm going to be using, obviously everyone is still early in the game, man. Like no one is really shooting extra consistent unless you've got like a super high three. Even that, those guys are still missing a little bit, but everyone knows that Jonathan Isaac is one of the best, still one of the best base for big mans out there. But I'm kind of using Julius Randle and Joel Embiid. Now, what I do think I'm going to end up doing, I think I am going to end up having to drop my release speed a little bit by one. I think this is probably going to be the way for me because, I just think it will make my shot a little bit easier to time. But again, for you guys that do want to sort of go, this is what I'm using: A plus, and a B for the defensive immunity. But anyways, that's pretty much the animation for now. Let's go into some rec gameplay. Also, I'm going to show you guys some proven ground gameplay. And then, yeah, we're going to go to the builder. I'm going to discuss a little bit more about the build. So here we are in the gameplay. Now we're going straight to the rec. It's always good to get a good test on this build. Now the rebounding, again, kind of similar to my 7-foot. I told you guys they're very similar in every sense. I will make a video talking about the difference between this build and my 7-foot build in the future, but this build is very good. You can see this is still very early on. A lot of the gameplays I'm actually showing you guys are pretty much the early days of when I made the build. Okay, now I am not, like I said, okay, these are jump shots that I'm making so you guys can see the build is capable of shooting threes, and when I get my three down, I'll be able to get it done. Now, a lot of you centers that make your center builds with no steal, and listen, I can never justify having no steal on a build, but especially this year. Okay, this year I think the steal is one of the worst I've ever seen. Like in terms, it's just so OP, bro. Like everyone is freaking, everyone's just going and attacking every single, inbound. It's crazy. It's scary for a center to throw any break star right now, bro, because everyone's just hawking lanes and everything else. But again, kind of similar to my other 7-foot build, you're able to get a lot of offensive rebound. I'm going to be showing you guys some of the stats of some of the other centers I've also played. You guys can see the standing dunk is good on this build. You will eventually be able to get Hall of Fame Era Wizard also on this build. But again, look, those stills, even if it's only a 67, it pays off in the future. Again, just being able to get those lanes, and look at that, will also be quick enough to get up to the other side. Obviously, the other thing I like about this build is the speed of the build. You guys can see the first game absolutely just snagged the other center. Now, again, I'm also going to be showing the stats of some of the centers I'm playing because I know some of you guys are like, "Fear, my build has a 96 rebound. I'm going to out rebound this build." Listen, I'm not saying anything because I do understand 80 rebound is it is questionable, but if you know what you're doing, what I realize is most of the time I don't really get wormed. It's just if I'm out of position, you will get out rebounded. But again, if you think about it, a lot of other centers, as we hit the three right there, a lot of other centers that also have a 96 offensive rebound, they don't have a high defensive rebound either. So they probably have like an 85 or 84 defensive rebound. So technically speaking, as we jumping for the block right there, my offensive rebound is also higher than their defensive rebound. So it kind of plays out both ways. But again, if you want to play as a spot up shooter in this build. You can kind of space the floor for your teammates, just patiently wait there. But again, if you want to run in with that speed, kind of going in for the board, that the vertical certainly really helps. You can see how high I'm jumping, and I'm playing someone that has a 96 rebound. Again, I showed the stats of the center at the start. You can see the difference in the jumping animations. Okay, like I'm just jumping a lot higher. I know some of these centers wants to get that cap breakers. Some of them, I would recommend you guys to put it on your vertical. I know it's very, it's an attribute a lot of people are overlooking, but being able to jump is super important. But again, just basic stuff like that, having still on your build certainly helps, just getting those basic passes. You don't want to be on the court and you can see a pass coming through and you still can't stop it. But again, listen, you can shoot the three ball very well on this build. Okay, again, I'm just, I'm not the most consistent guy just yet. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but we are still making it work. The standing dunk is there in this build. So it's a simpler version in comparison to my other build. You can see right there, look, I just dunked on like 3 of them. It's a simpler version in comparison to my 7-foot, my first power forward build. And again, look at those chase down, man. This build does also, if you guys, you guys have seen the builder, you also get Hall of Fame high flying Denier with this build. Now we also went to the proving ground. You can see I'm showing some of the stats of these centers because you guys can't show. Like, listen, he's got a 95 offensive board. So I'm playing centers that have really high offensive rebound, and we are still snagging. Okay, it doesn't matter. But again, the standing dunks are cooked on this game, bro. Listen, apparently you need 96 to be able to consistently do those. So one of my builds, I am gonna put 96 standing. No, sorry, not 96, 95. I will put 95 standing dunk on my build just to see how OP it is, because I can't not be able to mash, bro. Like last year was insane. Okay, everyone's so used to last year, but again, we are snagging these, these boards. And in this gameplay, I'm actually playing with another guy that has a 93, so very similar to myself. He's also got a 93 offensive board, but he's 6'10". And you guys are seeing one possession where both of us were just absolutely going crazy with the boards. Now, for me personally, I like playing post scorers because I know when to time. Like, you have to time the run. You see right here, that's a 6'10" just going crazy. He's got a 93 offensive board, kind of similar to my build. But again, the reason I like playing post scorers, you can see I know when to time the run to go for the board. So, and that way it's very annoying for a lot of centers to kind of get. You can see always timing the run. I like getting a running head start with this build, which is why the speed is also important. I thought my teammate was going to pull up, that he didn't. We end up getting 3 seconds. But again, the speed really helps. You can see again those lanes, man. Those lanes are super crucial. Like the still rating is super underrated, but you can see a lot of my teammates, they love going for post fades, and I like them going for those post fades because I know how to time the jump to get the board on those. But again, right here, this guy thought he had a free lane. Again, we do have a Hall of Fame high flying Denier, not yet on this build, but we will be able to get it, and then we can upgrade it to legend because it's only like a tier 1 or for my batch. It was pretty good. But again, the standing dunks are cooked, man. Listen, put high close shot on your build because I'm seeing so many. The amount of layups people have made on me on this build is insane. I've seen smaller guards make layups on me, and I'm there with my hands up. It ain't making no difference. As you can see, all my teammates are just going for post fades, but we'll be snagging those easy boards, man. You can see another rebound right here, and this is playing against a center that has a 95, rebound, offensive or defensive, whatever it is. So you still got a fairly high rebound. But that's pretty much it, man. You guys can see we've been going crazy with this 7-foot build. It's very flexible. It's very easy to use, in my opinion. It's not very complicated, whatever you want to do. Again, I will show you guys a different version of the 7-foot build. But let's go into the build again. I'm going to show you guys a full build. I'm also going to show you another recommendation of what you guys should make. So here we are in the builder. Okay, again, these stats don't really matter too much. Right-handed, left-handed, completely down to you. We are going to go center position. Again, when I first made this build, I was thinking about making it at power forward, but so it's completely down to you how you feel. I think you can play both positions pretty well. Again, it's just very easy. Go for board, space the floor, shoot the 3. But again, the only reason I made it at the center position is I just don't trust a lot of centers in this game. So I'd rather play center with an 80 defensive rebound, because ideally I would have loved to have made this build at power forward just to give me that flexibility and be like a help player. But anyways, 232 on the weight, 7'7" wingspan. But again, this is not the max. Now, this is what the build is looking like right now. Again, you have that 89 driving dunk, which does give you Hall of Fame area wizard. So this is basically technically also a lob threat build. Okay, so this is why I really like a build like this. So you can obviously space the floor, you can go in for the alley oops. You have that 90 standing dunk, which I think is enough. Okay, listen, until I figure out if 95 is the way, bro, I'm not messing with no meter dunk. I do it at my own risk, but I don't spam them like I do last year. Obviously, this build has less ball handling because again, it's a very simple build. You're not supposed to do anything technical or complicated with this build. You just pass the ball. 75 pass. Again, I'm not really throwing crazy passes like that. Okay, just pass to the nearest person to you, or if someone's wide open, good luck throwing those because you have lockdowns everywhere in the lanes this year, bro. It's absolutely insane. But again, the perimeter defense is there. I always max my perimeter defense on all my centers. I like being able to be a bit versatile because most games that I play, I actually play the hedge guy, that pretty much a pick and roll. I'm always the guy playing. I always refuse to let anyone else play it. But this year, your boy may have to give that up because, bro, it's insane. But again, I'll talk about that a bit more in other videos. There's still, we have that, 67 that does give us that also glove, occasional steals. But it's more for the interceptor and being able to get those lane steals. But again, being able to get that Hall of Fame high flyer Denier on this build, you guys can see, like, this is absolutely insane. You do need a bit of speed for it, though, to get it to Hall of Fame. But I don't have it quite yet, so I'm very, interested to see what it's like. Again, it's going to give a lot of, sort of, when moving at a high speed. So you do need to be running to get a lot of this stuff. So it's basically chase down from any angle, pretty much. It doesn't have to be from the... You don't have to be chasing someone down. I think you can run from the corner, whatever you want to be and still, be able to get the block. Now, again, with this version, bearing in mind, you also have to think about your future, okay? When you make builds nowadays, you need to think about the potential of the build. You can't just think about the build as it is. You need to think about, okay, in the future. Right now, you might be like, oh, fair, I don't, 80 defensive rebound is a bit, techie for me, or it's a bit, I don't know. But then in the future, look, I'm able to upgrade this to a 96, offensive rebound, and also I can get, for my future cap break, and I can also increase my defensive rebound on this build also. But again, these are the stats. The speed is there, the agility is there, the strength is, meh. Again, I would recommend all you centers out there to have gold brick wall, honestly, trust me, and an 85 vertical. Okay, this is pretty much what the build is looking like. It's nothing too technical, nothing too crazy. It's just a very simple three, sharpshooter and rim protector, lob threat. I don't even know how to kind of describe this build. But yeah, this is the build. But before I leave you guys, because I do know some of you guys are like, but Phil, what would you recommend as a center build right now if I want to make a 7-foot build? In terms of, playing the game now, understanding the game a little bit, I'm obviously going to call it Inside Arc Board Hunter. I'm going to show you guys very quickly what I would recommend you guys to make, so you guys don't be like, oh, you just left us hanging. So this is what I would recommend for you centers out there, okay? This is my recommended center builds for a lot of you guys. So you can see I dropped down the standing dunk because, trust me, that's all you need. 81, so you can just dunk it when you're open. 87 driving dunks, so you still get those, alley-oop animations. Again, very 82 and 76, 75. But again, I lowered the block because even though I have a higher block on my other build, it's not really super crazy. So again, maybe because they're not maxed yet, but this is what I'd recommend for you guys. You can see with this version, you do have that Hall of Fame sort of rebound chase off rip. Your strength is higher. You have that gold brick wall, because I can tell you there is a big difference. Okay, I'm the one playing the help screen. When guys get hit by gold brick wall, bro, guys are getting sent to the shadow realm, bro. Like, no one's moving off those screens. Like, people are getting stuck on those brick wall screens. So I would definitely recommend to be able to put a 91 strength on the build. You still have a high vertical with this version also, and you still have good speed on it, so it's not like you're completely slow, and you still have the still ability. So I think this is what I would recommend for someone that just wants to make a simple center build, get boards, shoot threes, set big bodies. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, this is the build I recommend for you guys. The name of this build is called what's it? I completely forgot. I think it's the same name as my other build, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I think it's a very similar. Every single one of my builds has got something. Yeah, there you go. So it's pretty much the same name. But anyways, I have showed you guys a 7-foot build. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I also showed you guys my recommended 7-foot center build I would recommend for you guys to keep things simple. So yeah, if there's anything you guys would change, any recommendations, any thoughts on it, do leave in the comment section, and I'll catch you boys in the next video.